But then later, when Ignatius became ill, it would become the bedroom of the brother who was caring for him. So he could have been closer. And so we have some of the personal effects of Ignatius that are present. Here we have the chasuble, which he was buried in. So at his canonization, they took it off him as he was moved.
Right.
So that's where his chasuble is now.
So when you say at his canonization, he was buried in this chasuble, they exhumed the body?
So when he originally died in 5056,
yes,
he was buried in this chasuble.
Right.
When they exhumed his body for the canonization, they took it off because it's now a relic, and so they hold on to it.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. These are a favorite of the rooms. His shoes. And you can see here where people have cut off a bit of the shoe as a relic.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, people love the shoes. I keep saying we need to take a photo and make a postcard because people would buy them.
Yes.
Above we have pieces of his vest, or at least an undershirt, and again another piece of his vest or undershirt, and then in the case, his cassock he would have worn.
Yes, you can see in that his height.
Yeah.
You get a sense of his height as well.
Yeah, you do. You do.
Classic.
Yeah. Here in this case, we have a couple of interesting things. One, we have this icon of the Madonna and Child, which was his personal icon, so one of his personal effects. Here we have the first printed copy of his, what do we call this? The autobiography.
Okay.
Here we have the rules of the house. I don't think we follow them anymore, which is probably good.
They'd have been very strict, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
Comparing our modern times.
Here we have the document permitting the society to exist.
Right.
Here we have the, I'm not really exactly sure how to call this, but the document, a program for the Mass of Ignatius. So when they said the Mass of Ignatius, this is the prayers that would have included.
Oh, okay, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it would have been part of the sacramentary.
Right, exactly, right.
And in that day and time, after his canonization, they
Exactly.
use these prayers.
Well, what's interesting here is a medallion of the head of Ignatius, so kind of a coin that was, they think, I've heard various stories. The story I like is they gave it out to those who had helped with the canonization process. So we have very early moments of the Society of Jesus doing development work, giving out back to benefactors. Thank you for your contribution. Here's a coin with Ignatius's head on it.
Wow. Very good depiction. It looks like him.
Very distinct.
Yeah. And this painting here was.
So this would have been a painting after the canonization of Ignatius. There's a moment. If we look at the iconography of Saint Ignatius, there's kind of three waves of iconography. The first wave is Ignatius in his cassock, and this is going to occur before his canonization. Before his canonization, it's always Ignatius in a cassock. After canonization, it's Ignatius in a chasuble.
Okay.
And then the Society of Jesus is suppressed, and when the Society of Jesus is brought back, it's back to Ignatius in the cassock. So it's very interesting how that kind of depiction of Ignatius has moved through time.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But similar elements always there is the bended knee, or at least the knee gently bent, genuflecting to the name of Jesus.
Right.
And he's always carrying a book of some sort, whether it be the constitutions or the spiritual exercises. So those elements are always present, but the vestings of Ignatius adjust depending on the time. Very, very interesting.
So the role of priest is emphasized here. The presbyteral is a stronger image.
As cultic priest, right. whereas the other is more of a sacerdotal priest, as
Exactly.
as priest from baptism.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's very interesting how that's moved through time.
And the Ignatius of the exercise would have been probably the man of the cassock.
Well, absolutely, because he was given the exercises before he was a priest.
That's right.
Which got him in trouble, which is the reason he became a priest.
Right.
Was so he could
Exactly.
give the exercises without anyone giving him any heck.
Right. And there was lots to give.
There was.